What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. This is I know I always say it's gonna be a quick one, and then I lie. This is gonna be a quick one. Um, I just want to do. Let me get into it. So shout out to Obsidian. I was actually listening to it's in. I put the video in my community tab. He did a video on B Simone, which really hits the nail on the head with that. You combine that with BGS, and then compare that to like what April Mason is saying. It'll really give you a understanding as to the differences in female, especially considering April's a younger Gen Xer. It really gives you an understanding as to the fuckery at an all time level. But this is really for the dudes. One thing I want black men to understand. Yeah, what's up, Marcus? One thing I want black men to understand. This is something that never gets entered into the debate. This is, in my opinion, what separates true red pillars from dudes that try to act like they're red pill, but they're really more purple pill dudes, and they still have blue pill tendencies, is this concept of sexual access versus desire. You see, in the black community, when we're having these arguments and these conversations, one thing that never gets talked about, the dynamic, is sexual access. Women do not have to worry about sexual access. They have to worry about sexual quality. But women do not have to worry about sexual access. Women can fuck other women, and that's really socially accepted at this point, 100%. And it's been socially accepted for a while now. Dudes don't have a problem. Most dudes are not going to, especially if we're talking about dating and mating, are going to penalize a female for having a history with other females, unless she demonstrates that, it's almost like a woman. It's not going to be a penalty versus a woman. More of a penalty a woman fucking women versus a woman fucking a lot of dudes. It's the same thing there. So you have that. Then you have, you know, you don't even hear black men talk about body counts anymore. Especially if we're talking about fucking and we're not talking about marriage. And let's keep it real. In the dating market, women are not looking to get married like that. They may want a wedding. Women want a wedding just like motherfucker, like women want a prom, but they don't necessarily want to be married. And truth be told, again, I go back to that April Mason video she just did on B Simone. The reason why I keep coming back to that shit is because if you want to know what black women mean when most of them, the vast majority, and remember what I've always told you, 80% of black women are out of alignment, only 20% are in alignment of what it is to even be in a relationship or be tolerable. So long term. So remember that. So for the some but not all folks, it's the 80-20 rule, and 80% are invariability of dysfunction. So 80% view marriage how April Mason views it. And I submit to you, a lot of these level up women, this is what they're actually looking for. Or what they're looking for is to be able to spend somebody's money on some lifestyle shit. And the problem is, I have no problem with dudes building lifestyles, but if women are going to operate like double agents anyway, then there's no point doing that. And this comes back to the original part of this video. But my point is, women do not think they don't have to worry about sexual access. This is why you never hear them talk about it. When they're talking about there's not enough good men, or they're talking about anything like that, what they are not saying that they can't get dick. When women talk about colorism, they're not saying they can't get dick. What they are saying is they cannot get the socio-economic resources that come along with supposed privileges that come along that other women get, that come along with sexuality, which is basically, feminine women get held up, which is actually not true. That's actually a lie. Because when you look at things like OnlyFans and this thing that women don't have, that black women don't have an ability to commodify their sexuality, is actually not true. They may do it in a different form because it's a more slutty, masculine form, and other women are on OnlyFans as well. But they are not completely locked out of that market. A big reason why, and I'm going to diverge for a second, a big reason why they don't get perceived patriarchal sexual benefits is because black women are in a gynocracy. And this is where not wanting to admit you're in a gynocracy or a pseudo matriarchy, there are penalties to that. You know, white women get the quote unquote white women privilege is because they operate in a patriarchy for the most part. Now, obviously, that shit has been watered down, but you get the dynamic. It's the same thing with Latin women. It is only when you deal with women that want to operate in a 50-50 context where you don't see those privileges. And this is why when you hear these women argue about colorism or all this other bullshit, but when you talk about them competing on a feminine level for those privileges, though that beauty privilege, they refuse to do it. And they can't understand, like even on MTs. I was going back through things. Check out my video, because the view counts are pretty low on that. Where we go through it. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Andre who came through. Which I advise Andre he reaches out to MT because Andre is in a he's a certified 6 figure nigga. So I want to hear what these chicks got to say. Or when you start bringing up people like Kevin and certified 6 figure dudes, now let's see what the type of shit y'all gonna talk. But anyway, the point is on that video, Nicole is it? She said, you know, so am I not pretty enough for an $80,000 dude? And the answer is no, you're not. And I hate to be mean like that, but if I'm gonna if I don't, you know, even when I was making like 40, even I hate to say this, and this is mean, but even when I was working at a call center, I dated better looking women. You know, when I was in high school, I was working at a fucking deli. I dated better looking women. And I'm not trying to be mean about that, but I'm saying, and that's another thing that these women never understand. Do you realize that a lot of these guys, but when they didn't have a job, was dating better women? So this idea that beauty, anyway, hold on, because I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back to the topic because I want to. This is important. Women don't, so even a woman like Nicole, she does not have to worry, is because see, this is where the women lie about the colorism shit, and this is where Rashida Schrober gets stripped up. As much as she talks about shit about colorism, Rashida Schrober is married, was married. And Rashida Schrober she's got a light skinned dude. So clearly she's not regulated to a certain skin tone. She's getting fucked. So whenever they talk, they are never talking about sexual access. Now they may not be able to get the sexual quality they want, but sexual quality is not tied to economics. This is why you got a whole bunch of broke pookies and ray rays that can be a lot of these niggas can be taken care of, but they're not necessarily with fat bitches because it's called dick currency. That's what sexual quality is. Dick currency. So this is the only thing they're ever going to talk about. So good sexual quality, high sexual quality. It's like cocaine or strong marijuana. It is a commodity. It's like getting that Mexican brick shit versus getting the high quality shit. The high quality shit is not easy to get. It's like getting cheap liquor versus getting, Cristal or something. That's not easy to get, and its price is based on how expensive it is. It's like getting a cheap rinky dink flip phone at a dollar store versus getting an iPhone. Even if you get an iPhone used, you're going to pay some money for it. We all know this. Like we all know this. So women, when you just like how when you talk to white people never really talk about race because race isn't their issue. They talk about class because that's where they start delineating it. It's the same thing with women when they're talking about light skin and dark skin. They're talking about access to sexual quality, which is really not true because black men are not discriminating against dark skinned sisters if they know how to fuck. That's not true. And you can see that in the babies that they're having. So the point is, that's the thing, but that never gets entered in the conversation. But in the background, it is because, for instance, women it's like a roller coaster, and you have a long line at Disney World or Six Flags or Cedar Point, and then you have this pass where you can just get right on the roller coaster while waiting in line. Or let's think about the club where you got a signature because you're a special VIP guest. This is what they do. And they will actually say, so when dudes complain about gold digging, what dudes are saying is, you're not going to make me pay this premium price to get in the fucking line for a place that I may never get into, aka sexual access, when I know I can actually take that same money and actually pay for sexual access up front and then give these other dudes passes. But and the line is like, equivalent to dates and shit. And then turn around and then say, oh, you're mad about gold diggers. No, that's no. What you're doing is you're basically making me pay like triple or quadruple the shit that black women do when they do that. If white people did that, we would call that shit racist. We would call that shit Jim fucking Crow. You know what that shit is? That's the fucking coloreds go in the colored dirty bathroom and the whites only go in the white bathroom. That's the Negroes go get the books that are fucking 2-3 decades old with misspells, and the white folks in the white schools, public still, so all everybody paying fucking taxes. But the white schools, even if they're fucking poor white schools, are gonna get better resources than even affluent black schools. That's what that shit is. And women will say, well, that's just being women. No, that's not. Because that's not even hypergamous. That's called I want my cake and eat it too. That's I'm gonna create this line. And here's the thing: I'm not saying black men. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Black men really need to start. This is not a talking about sexual performance and increasing sexual performance is not a conversation for YouTube. That's a conversation that really needs to go in the written word. That's a conversation where you need a blog and you need to maybe use YouTube to host shit, maybe unlisted. But that's a Patreon conversation. And I will say, black men need to get over that shit and need to start, look, and shout out to Glenn and Cameron, because Glenn and Cameron will talk about that sort of thing. Now he'll have a pay gate behind it, but because that's a part of disruptive male shit. But he will talk about that sort of thing, and that is a conversation, because I don't give a damn how good you think you are at sex. You can always be better, and we know that if you're good at sex, nothing else really matters. You pretty much can write your own ticket. Just like how money can buy your way out of shit, sex is the other thing that can basically, you can fuck your way out of a lot of shit too. So let's just be honest about that. But my point, so dudes are not under any illusions of that. But the point is, women like to hide behind concepts of gold digging and all that as a way to justify doing this. And this is why dudes pump and dump you and justify that, because off the gate, you are operating in a deceptive way. So the point though, digressing from that and going back to it, women deal with sexual quality. They don't ever have to worry about sexual access. It's like living in fucking the Saudi Arabia, Iran, in which gas is like 15 cents or some shit. It's not an issue. Now they can get, and then people forget that, right? So men have to worry about sexual access. Yeah, I mean sexual quality, obviously, but sexual quality is more aligned to how a woman looks. But even then, black men will fuck a fat bitch, and the reason why this is why that's important. That's important to understand, because when women talk about colorism and talk about all this other bullshit, if a bitch got a fat ass to hip ratio, dudes are not discriminated when it comes to sexual access. So even those women still have a quote unquote pay gate as far as the box, right? So most of the value that these women are bringing to the table is just sexual access. If you tell a man that you're not getting this pussy ever, then dudes are generally not going to deal with you. This is why it always has to be this deception of will he, won't he, or it's like bait. We're gonna put up bait and say, oh, you almost got it, and your goal is to have as many fish going for that hook as possible. Even though one can bite at a time necessarily, you still want a whole bunch of fish because there's value in that. There's money in that. And this is where you hear them complaining. So my point is, Sexual access needs to be talked about more. And this is why I will say this, and I brought up Obsidian for a reason. This is where I can see the value in the unselect category. Because I still don't think dudes should be sitting here declaring him. But as him being a representative for, let's say, that silent group that we know is obviously a lot of black men, because these are who, because black women have very narrow standards of who they want. So we know they exist. Doesn't need to be specific who that is, and he doesn't point them out. So I get that. So I get what he's doing in that sense. He can say this shit. He can say, and he can say, look, you all are clearly, you all are, Obsidian already. I'm not gonna say what he does, but the point is, men. And here's the reason why I really wanted to bring up this video, because I really wanted to say this on MT Stream, but I never got a chance to say it. The only reason, the main reason why women have that kind of power is because men give it to them. And let me tell you why. And I'm going to say this. First of all, men can commodify pussy. Pussy is just like any other thing. Drugs is a commodity. Pills are a commodity. Um, Even, I hate to say it like this, but even human beings are a commodity. Everything's a commodity. It depends on what you want, not just the official commodities like pigs, meat, corn. Everything's a commodity. It depends on, now commodity is generally defined as a need, something that's more of a need than a want. I get that, but when you combine the biology of and the actions of people, this is why I mentioned drugs. People will operate with drugs like they need them if they're addicted. Well, you are biologically wired to want to have sex. Men do not give a fuck about a woman's company. They want sexual access. There's a difference. Now, they will tolerate a woman's company. They may even enjoy it if it comes with sexual access. But men have no need for just a woman's company. Now, if that comes with money or comes with something else, that's different. But that's a means to an end. A woman's company is a means to an end to get another goal, but it is not the primary goal. And this is why when I was on Ramil shit and these dudes were arguing that, I was like, you don't understand this basic concept, and all your thoughts are emanating from this misunderstanding of what that is. You should not be seeking a woman's companionship without sex, unless there's something else you're getting. If you don't have another agenda tied to that, I don't know what the fuck well, I just want a woman's company. Okay, what's the difference between a woman and a dude? If except that a woman has a box. Well, feminine energy. That's fucking retarded. But anyway, the other part of this video I want y'all to really understand, and I know it's going long, is desire. Black men have a serious problem with wanting to be desired by females. Now, somebody will listen to this, a PUA and whatever, and they will say, oh, that's retarded. That sounds like you're hating. No, motherfucker. The reality is, black men desire is a non desire. If you don't really understand what desire is, you will be out here the desire. Here's what y'all need to understand about desire. Desire is like synthetic marijuana. It's not the same shit. And it's very easy to try to present it as the same shit when it's not the same shit. Like, so what do I mean when I say that? When you say I want desire from a woman, then this is a path to the friend zone. If women are not just outright throwing pussy at you, then you're a type of person that you will fall into this belief because of fear of rejection, a fear of being direct with what you want, is you will, this is not necessarily a trick video, is you will sit here and think you can trick time for pussy. And what you don't, and what most men don't understand is non-sexual companionship is a women value non-sexual companionship. This is why the guys that they will actually deal with and accept as non-sexual partners. Think about it this way: who a man is going to commit to and put resources into is a completely different woman. Not say, I won't say completely different woman, but it's on a completely different level of a woman than who a man will fuck. You got men that will fuck fat bitches, but they will never claim them. They will never invest in them. And most dudes that are with fat bitches are being taken care of by them. They will never have options and resources and choose to invest in these types of women, whether they're fat, whether they're whatever. It is a completely different type of woman that he's willing to invest in long term than what he's willing. Think about it. A man is not going to marry the same. The lowest level of a woman a man will marry is completely on a higher level than the lowest level of a woman than a man will fuck. Right. So, but the problem is women are it's the same way with women in reverse though. Women have no problems spending time and pouring their emotions, what they call it, emotional douchebag, to dudes that are willing to do that. The type of dudes that they're willing to put in the friend zone is never reflective in the dudes that they actually desire and want to fuck. Because those dudes that they desire and want to fuck, they're gonna fuck. No, yeah, they'll hang out with those dudes but they will also accept that those dudes don't want to. If those dudes don't want to hang out, if they're fucking, that's all they want. So everything else is a bonus. And if they can convert those dudes into boyfriends, then yeah, they will. But they accept what they're given because they're getting what they want out of them. Versus, um, and we're not talking about women that are married and shit like that. I'm talking about just motherfuckers that are out here playing a field. Versus, and that's an versus the dudes that are friend zoned. They're always friend zoned. They are emanating that mindset, and they accept that a woman is putting you in a category, but you have to accept that. And when I say accept that, you have to be willing to walk the fuck away and allow her to make her decision. But dudes will orbit around, and that's on y'all for doing that shit. And you all will make up reasons for doing that that's not really tangible, valuable reasons. And then you all will actually justify it by saying, I got a lot of female friends. Nigga, if you got a lot of female friends and you ain't fucking and there's no business or money aspect to it, nigga, you a fucking loser. Like real fucking talk. If there's no business or money in that or networking in that at all, but you got a whole bunch of female friends, that is a sign that you're a goddamn loser. That's a beta or orbiter. So you should not be having a whole bunch of female friends that if I were to ask you what value does she bring to you, you can't tell me. If you can't tell me and it's like you don't know, then nigga, we already know what it is. It's like having a whole bunch of shit on layaway that you can't buy. It's fucking stupid. And the reason why I'm going as hard is to understand you choose that. It's like being a telemarketer and you choose to home in on these like leads. It's like motherfucker, get some new leads, make some new calls. Stop being a bitch. Shout out to Billie Jean. Stop. Stop it. It's over. And this is some shit that a lot of quote unquote, this is some shit that a lot of quote unquote unselect dudes need to hear. This ain't really about beating up the females. This is about y'all. Because at the end of the day, this is something you choose to do and you can choose not to do it. Have some self-respect. And it annoys me that black men do not understand. And this is not just unselect dudes. This is select dudes too. It annoys me because there's variability to quote unquote select. It annoys me that black men, black men will actually say it's a virtue that they only date. Oh, I only date black women. Okay, but then you're complaining about what black women do. That's retarded to me. It really is. You have to really ask yourself how a man that's supposed to be a linear thinker would actually run into like this logic sand trap of understanding that he has a biological need for sexual access, but at the same, like I was arguing with this one dude on air. Shout out to Aaron Ferris on Black Men's Travels. I got share his channel so y'all can subscribe to it. One dude, we were talking about pump and dump, and he wanted to bring morality into it. And I said, dude, a dude can always switch from pumping and dumping to wanting to have a family. A dude can always do that. The question is, has he built up baggage by having kids because he didn't do it smart? Well, and he eventually acquiesced to it, but he was still his natural response was wanting to bring me some fucking pro black shit. some some Pan African. Well, man, you know the same black man. No, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about the collectivity because those women are always gonna find those guys that you're describing. They are actively choosing to have babies with them. So at the point they've already seeded what you're talking about. So this idea of you being morality, that doesn't mean anything to these bitches that want that type of dude. What the fuck are you talking about? And see, dudes fall into logic loops like that. And they're actually, and this is a part, this is kind of an unintended, this is the gynocracy programming too. So the reality of the situation is, you know, because I'm close this out, because I want to actually have a stream about this. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Let's see. Or $5. Appreciate that tag. Appreciate that dollar watch. I know y'all in this chat. And I really would like to I would really like to go in on this, but I told you I do want to keep this. I'm not going through the chat. The reality is there is a difference between desire and sexual access. What I'm talking about is fucking sexual access. Y'all niggas could go to see Boogie, go to, you know, ARC. Y'all could go somewhere else for fucking somebody to teach you how to be desired. I don't give a fuck about a bitch desiring me. Because here's the truth. The truth is, I only need one chick. If I'm a guy that wants to get, if let's say you're a guy that you still believe in marriage, or you still believe in a long-term relationship that's not codified by the government, right? Because you understand you have to be on a certain page with a female that you're dealing. And I know dudes like this that are not married, that they have cooperative women that appreciate them and desire them and know they in a good situation because these dudes are quote unquote hustling. You know, I'm not even gonna put these people out there like that. And they got a kid with them, and it works. I know dudes like that. They're out here when I say hustling, flipping real estate, creating businesses. I understand it. You have to have a woman that's cooperative with you. You just do. Whether you're married or not, if you're talking about having a kid. So here's the thing. You only need one chick for that. You only need one woman to desire you. And the advantage that a man has is men are not out here talking about, I need a dime, I need a nine, I need an eight, or nothing. I need even an upgradable seven. Most black men, if they want to aim for something, they want to aim. They're aiming for like upgradable sevens because they understand eights, nines, and tens either belong. Nines and tens belong to the streets, or the level of competition they're gonna have to do. It's gonna be on some insane shit. So most dudes are actually cool with upgradable sixes and upgradable sevens. What is the difference between upgradable a six and a seven, in my opinion? The difference between a six and a seven is a seven is like a B minus, and maybe a C in one thing, but a B minus in everything else. But if they can upgrade into like an A in like the face, if they put on a little bit of makeup, but they're solid without makeup, they can clean up very well. And but and they may have one thing that pops, but they're not really lacking on the looks department. And generally, these are the women that, if their personalities are good, they get lumped into full on like sevens and possibly eights because they're very easy to be around. Now, if they are not easy to be around, then they're almost like fives and fours because motherfuckers are like, you straight for the stroke, but I'm not about to work hard for you. Especially once you see that outside of them cleaning up, their personality can move their looks. An upgradable six, generally they're lacking in something, but they have something that pops. Like they have an ass, but their face may not be all that, but their body is pretty solid. They may be flat chested, but they got an ass. You know, something like that. That's by definition. My point is, dudes are perfectly cool with that if a chick has a cooperative personality. Even black men that are making 60, 70, and 80,000 are generally, as far as who they're going to take home, as far as be, are generally, they're going to want a little bit better, but they're going to be cool with that. You know, remember, only 3% of black men make six figures or more. Kevin Sanders are giving you the numbers on 6 foot dudes. It's only like 14% of dudes that are like six. And then you combine that plus the money. I mean, the math, it's mathematics. I don't give a fuck about if women want to double up, triple up, quadruple up with dudes, then go ahead and do that. This is not me telling, this is me saying they ain't no good men. That's bullshit argument. But my point is, desire, black men spend way too much fucking time, have way too much of an ideology wanting to be desired. Because if you are not a black, number one, if you are not fucking very direct about what the fuck you want, you're playing yourself and you deserve to get played because you chose to do it. It's just like motherfuckers that want to buy, how to get rich quick shit because they don't want to learn how to pick up a phone and sell because they're scared. You deserve to get sold bullshit because you know why you're buying it. You're trying to short circuit what you should be doing. And the reality is a big reason why these chicks have a mentality that they have and think, because let's be clear here, non-black men are not gassing black women up. That's black men doing that shit. Let's keep it real. This is why non-black women don't play that shit. Because they know it's a privilege for a white man to even fuck a black woman, regardless how poor he is. And regardless how much they can't fuck. The reality of the situation is black men have to understand the difference between wanting to the need is this fucking gynocratic need to be desired. I'm not saying that men don't are not supposed to want to be desired because that's a form of respect. But what I'm talking about is men need to understand what the clear target is. The target is sexual access. And let's keep it real. You cannot commodify desire. You can't. But you can buy your ass into sexual access. And yes, a woman will never necessarily fuck a guy as much that she for money that she will fuck and that she desires. I've said that. I know that. But at the same time, let's keep it real. Let's stop acting like women are just these masterful fuckers anyway. A lot of them ain't. If you fuck enough of these hoes, you realize you gotta teach a lot of these bitches how to fuck. Let's stop it. And that includes black women too. I'm gonna end this video with this because I'm gonna do a stream about this. And I think honestly, this is the type of thing. Yeah, this type of what I'm saying is the type of thing that ARC would be able to participate in. This actually runs the gamut of a lot of dudes. And I don't know what these people are gonna say, but my point is I want to have a debate on this shit. And maybe I might reach out. In fact, I think I will reach out to Bernard. This is something I'll probably talk about Wednesday. I'm gonna reach out to Bernard and see because I'm off what I need to do Wednesday, and I want this shit because this is a problem. You got niggas that they will spend their whole life looking to be desired by black women, and basically fucking give out all of their non-sexual attention, all of their energy, a resource that actually women value. Another reason too is if you want sexual access, you can get like you can be technically say I want to have a kid with a black woman because I care about my lineage, and still say I need to secure my sexual access. So a black woman, if you say I want to deal with, even if you say you want to deal with ADOS, you only need one ADOS black woman to fuck with you, and in the meantime, you could be fucking with everybody else, female, every other female. Like, I don't understand. Other groups of men can understand that. Arabs do that all the time. They fuck with black women, and when it's time for them to stop, they fucking stop. Jennifer Lopez did that, even though she's a female. She played around, Diddy, all that. When it was time to have a family, she knew where to go to. Now that she's older, you see her with more Latin dudes. A-Rod. Like, come on, let's stop bullshit. But black men don't understand this concept. Even dudes that are quote unquote select don't get this. Cause what they do is they allow their minds to be, they allow themselves to be, allow them to be used. This is why most of these dudes they're select are out here with kids if they're select on the sexual marketplace and they're getting child support because they're being used and they're not understanding that. Because women will use a false sense of desire. Understand that a lot of these level up chicks and femininity coaches are trying to teach women how to basically create a fake false sense of desire that will get you, especially a male, whether you're select, but I'm talking particularly in this case, not select, to do more. You go, I would challenge. I'm curious. I won't say challenge. I'm curious for Alan Roger Curry to go. listen to that April Mason shit. I don't even care if he puts a video out for it. I'm curious. For as a guy that's his age, would he want any man to actually have to deal with what the fuck she's talking about? Because I'm curious on Kevin too. I'm curious of what they would say a video like that. But anyway, this is not about that. What this is about is there is a difference between desire and compliance. There is, and I'm not saying that as a man you shouldn't aim for desire, but what I'm saying is don't sit here and if your goal is to secure sexual access, because that's really where your confidence is. Once you secure that, and I'm not look, take tricking off the table. You secure that by diversifying the type of folks that really want to fuck with you, as far as fuck with you, the women that want to fuck with you. Like you could do that without getting a passport and without tricking. But also understand that you can commodify pussy too. If you're a guy and you make six figures and you make well over six figures, you can commodify pussy. And women are actually talking as if pussy can't be commodified or the price of pussy is like this like insane price. Glenn and Cameron said you could be a sugar daddy for like giving some of these white bitches $200 a month. These are white chicks. So men, that's another thing when it comes to choice. Your greatest power is choice. And it's time for black men to start asserting that shit and starting to choose to not deal. And when I say not deal, I mean don't be dealing with these. Why do you think I've always promoted mode one? Regardless if Alan has an issue with me or I disagree with something he said. Because that is the shortcut to this issue. Stop giving away your non-sexual attention because you want to hang around bitches. When I'm around women, 80%, 85% of the time I'm around women, there's an agenda involved. Now I may not be like, hey, A, B, C, D, objective one, objective two, but I have a reason for me being there. I'm not just hanging out just to be fucking hanging out. There's a reason I'm there in the back of my mind. Whether I'm like very focused on it or whether it's passive, it's there. I don't got all these female friends that I'm just hanging out with, just so I can say I'm around some fucking feminine energy. And I think niggas like that are so fucking stupid. I really do. And dudes don't ever really think about that shit. Now, I'm not talking about dudes that are around females because this is your social circle, and then there's bitches that these bitches know that you could be fucking, or there's money, or there's a other agenda, and there's things, because some things have to be organic. But if you're like constantly around females and you think you doing something, but you're not fucking none of these bitches, the fuck are you doing? And I see way too many black men doing that shit. Way too many. And this is more akin to, let's say, non-select men at this point. Because select dudes don't do that. Select dudes, if they're around bitches, fucking is on the table. And fucking is likely. Otherwise, they're not going to be around. But y'all got to stop that shit. Because this is a big reason why motherfuckers can say stupid shit like that. If you notice, and I'm going to end this video with the B. Simone shit. If you notice, B. Simone is advertising for dudes that ain't fucking with her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said that shit. The dudes that are potentially wanting to fuck with her, she don't want. Because she has this thing that she deserves a rapper. It is what it is. But the point is, I promise you, if the niggas that are in her DMs fucking stop and now nobody's fucking with her, she'll sing a fucking different tune. Because they always do. And every other race of man, as much as we like to try to act like they sent, man, black men are willing to give the dick away. BGS has done a video about this, about fucking bitches for free. We gotta stop. We have to stop doing that shit. And this is a collective problem. And black men do this. If y'all want to talk about, I don't give a, I hear you saying, Jay Tucker, damn that. I get what you're saying with the father shit. But what I'm saying is this. Oh, I'm about to say, don't call me the B word. I was like, I ain't call you. I ain't call you the out your name. Trust me, if I call somebody something, they're gonna know. But my point is, I'm not even looking at the chat like that. Well, I said I was talking about mode one, so I don't see, and this is why I always reference it is that but the issue is y'all got to stop that shit because when I hear some of the crazy shit these chicks are saying like on MT, they can only say that because dudes are choosing y'all are shortcutting that shit, and y'all like have some stuff fucking nigga. I'm gonna say it just like this, and I'm ending this video with this. I'm going. This is gonna sound bad. It is, and y'all may not agree. I don't give a fuck, and I stand by this. I got more respect for a dude that will withhold sex and fucking get on Pornhub than a nigga that is hanging around a whole bunch of bitches and he don't know why he around these bitches because he hoping they may throw him some pussy. I got more respect on a dude that will go no fap and then do that and then build his shit up to the point where he could trick later. And to be fair, a dude with that type of discipline, I don't give a damn, is a dude that can basically be taught to get women, get a so cause remember, every dude is not chasing tens, nines, eights. But every dude ain't chasing that. There are dudes that are cool with a five if she's cooperative and shut the fuck up. There's dudes that are cool. Remember, the chick that LeBron James is with, she's like what a six or a seven. I would say, 6 or 7. Stop it. You look at the shit J.R. Smith keeps coming home to. The point is, I would rather a dude basically have his money under control, his time freedom under control, and just fucking jack off than fucking being raised, being fucking living with a fat bitch, be a skinny ass nigga with a fat bitch because that's some incel shit to me. Like real fucking talk. And I don't hear that when black men want to talk about, I'm getting bad bitch. I don't hear none of this shit. When niggas want to shame niggas on the sexual marketplace, I never hear this shit. I hear justifications. Justifications for fucking fat bitches. Justifications for hanging around bitches. I hear that. And I'm even talking about dudes that select. You got dudes that want to be fake select, that they think that they're around a whole bunch of good looking women, that they not getting to do shit. By the way, because understand, I can get women to do shit for me because there ain't no woman gonna be around me if something ain't being done. It may be a mutual benefit, but that ain't shit. And could be fair, I'm not around niggas in which there is no value in a relationship unless these are dudes I've known for a long time. But anybody or unless but generally, and I'm not saying this is about using people. I'm about it. There is a marketplace for exchange of resources, information, ideas. This is what common fucking interests are for. Well, what about common fucking interests of women? If it don't mean money or pussy, it's irrelevant. For real. Now, I'm not necessarily telling dudes necessarily that they need to walk up to females and in 5 minutes or less say you want to fuck. But what I am saying is you need to have a understanding as to what your agenda for that chick is. And it's like a customer relationship manager. Like you have leads and you're working the leads, and at some point those leads got to be put on, they got to be furloughed, meaning okay, they're not popping, fuck them, I'm getting new leads. And you should always be getting new leads. Well, black women are approachable, then fuck black women, approach the women that are. And if they bitch about not being approached, well, like stop being a bitch and maybe somebody will approach you. Well, I only want to be approached by 9 to 5. Sure, you have every right to want to be. I want to be 6 foot. I'm 33. Maybe in 5 years I'll get there. Just because you want something doesn't mean the world and society has to give it to you. And to be fair, check out Megan Good, one of the finest sisters out there before she lightened her skin. She probably wanted 100, 200 millionaire, but she's happy with Devon Franklin. Check out Fantasia. She's got money. She's happy with the nigga she got. A nigga that, by the way, volunteered to not be on get a prenup just to have her volunteered to sign a prenup. Volunteered it. Told her to do just so she could be comfortable that he ain't there for the money. I could do a whole reverse of this video how black women completely just shit the bed when it comes to their own choices because they ultimately don't know what they want. But fuck them. They're gonna get what they're gonna get based on what they do, and I'm not even mad about that. I'm not even hating on that. Sierra wanted what she wanted, but she was smart enough to know how to go about getting it. She was smart enough to realize I'm 29 to 30. It's time to lock something down. Kim was too. Fantasia was too. Megan Good was too. Or you can be like Vivica Fox. You can be like Shania Lathan. You can be like Nicole Murphy. Shania Lathan is fine as hell still alone. You could be like Holly Berry. But hey, they're going to do that. You're not going to change that. But y'all can stop gassing up these chicks. Y'all can stop getting in these bitches' DMs. Fucking, spamming. Fuck that shit. See them chicks up front. Damn that. Stop that shit. Anyway, this video was longer than I wanted to be. I'm definitely going to do a stream on this because this is something that needs to be fucking talked about. And I think this is like a good topic because this is a topic where every dudes are not necessarily going to wind up like the same like teams, like team A versus team B. I think there is a general, because black men do this more than other races of men. They really do. They really do. And I'm not justifying why women act the way they act. I'm saying they're gonna do that. That's fine. I'm not here to change what women do. I am here to enlighten dudes that y'all need to understand. Y'all need to stop doing that shit. And nobody's saying to not fuck with black women at all, but understand your time should be given to people that actually show that they value it. And that's true for business. That's true for anything. So when you hear these women talk about colorism, they can shut the fuck up. And you need to ignore it. In fact, I need to stop engaging with that bullshit. Because the reality is, we know good and goddamn well that dudes are not withholding dick. Even dudes that know how to fuck are not withholding dick for dark skinned women. If you look good, you can get it. They're crying about motherfuckers not marrying them and not fucking being, as Alan Roger Curry called, financially generous. And hey, some of y'all need to work for that financial generosity. If a chick knows how to give head, there's gonna be some money for it. Let's be clear about that. Doesn't matter what your skin tone is. Now, if you're upset that you're mad because you don't show up, dudes are not just throwing money at you. Well, then tough. I'm sorry. I thought y'all was strong and independent. I thought y'all didn't need no man. Well, be strong and independent with that fucking mouth and go ahead and earn this money. You want somebody to be financially generous. That's a problem with dudes that are financially generous. Smart dudes that are financially generous know what they're paying for. That's the white boys that believe in just paying for everything and then them women creeping out. Dudes ain't doing that. Dudes are like, if I'm going to be financially generous, I'm getting something. Damn that. And that's why women get mad about that. Now, there's still some dudes out here that they do that. Yeah, but even older dudes don't play that game. Remember, trust me, you ain't got no black sugar daddies that ain't fuck. It ain't like these white boys where they just white dudes, old white men. Not all of them are doing it. Where they want to do the cuckold shit, or they want to do the I just need a woman to be. Even a 70-year-old black dude ain't playing that game. Stop it. So anyway, this video went. Yeah, that George Floyd shit, and it's unfortunate because I really don't want to. Yeah, I see y'all are going in on this chat. Well, I mean, it's not about. Look, understand something, dude. Here's the thing, Anthony, and I'll say this, and I'm not trying to say get free promotion, but just because you don't have a need for a book doesn't mean you don't know somebody that does. Come on now. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. That's the beauty of books. But niggas don't read. That's why you need an audio. I don't know if he has an audio book, but that's why you need an audio book. I see y'all in heavy in this chat. Well, I have an iPhone. I mean, the phone I'm on right now is on an iPhone. Anyway, appreciate the super chats. I'm definitely gonna reach out to Bernard. I don't think I'm gonna do a stream today, but I'm definitely reaching out to Bernard. Seems to be the talk show of the Manosphere, which is great. Shout out to Bernard. I actually like how he does formats and stuff. But I because he's wanted me to email him for a long time. This is for a minute. This is something I want to jump on. And I think this is a really good thing that a lot of good people can kind of put their opinions on. Um, and it is it's a problem that doesn't it gets talked about, but it doesn't the angles that I'm talking about doesn't I don't think gets addressed as directly. I'm not gonna say people don't address it, but it's like ancillary because it gets bogged down in this alpha, beta, select, non-select. Because understand, I won't say everybody selected someone. That's not true. But all women have different select criteria. There's dudes that are select just off. Look, I am 5'5". There are a lot of women that I'm select just off the strength that I'm light skinned. Keep it real. Now, obviously, height is a universal select unselect thing. Nobody's challenging that. But you also have other criteria too. But that's not what I'm talking about. And everything gets looped into that, and that kind of fucks up the conversation. The truth is, men should always self improve, period. This is what I was talking about with the sexual performance piece. Folks act like you can't increase your sexual performance. And by the way, on the low, that's actually low key. Why I've always been for sexual tourism is because dudes can kind of control sexual access, and by controlling sexual access, you can actually develop sexual confidence by getting sexual ability. Because that's kind of like a chicken and the egg thing. But see, we can't talk about this you can't talk about this because damn motherfuckers get in their feelings. This is why some of this shit is not for Patreon. And I'm not low key advertising Patreon. What I might start doing is I might start doing Patreon videos on some shit like Ramil or some other stuff, and then just that way I'm putting this shit out there. I literally may start doing some Patreon content and making it unlisted and just fucking putting it on other people's Patreons like Ramil or something. That way, because I don't really feel like doing a Patreon. And that's not what I'm advertising for. So anyway, with that being said, this is Edward. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all, Archer. I see ARC in here. Marcus, Don Calypso, Cortez, Dollar Watch. I appreciate the super chat. I also got a stream coming in from Aaron Ferris about talking about education versus culture. I'm probably gonna reach out to BGS on that. I definitely, yeah. So tag, appreciate the super chat. But at the end of the day, man, if y'all y'all love orbiting chicks, but y'all don't like approaching chicks. And a game changer and us had we had a disagreement with Zero and all them. Them niggas all came at me talking about black men love to approach. That's a lie. That's a lie. And I'm fucking sick of that. No, they don't. Stop. No. I'm not talking about just black men. That's an American men thing. Men are not approaching like they used to. And I'm fucking tired. And digital approaching ain't approaching. That doesn't count. Fuck that. So I will have that debate too. That's an argument I want to have with somebody too. Do I'm talking specifically about black men, but we can talk about American men. Are men approaching as much as they used to? Are men actually approaching females as a collective group? And we could, and I don't, and they're not. They're not. That's a hidden problem in the manosphere that I've never seen dating coaches attack enough. Now, granted, I've been told that yes, they are. I'm just not listening to videos, so maybe that's true. I just don't hear those arguments when they come to the general, like some of the side that I'm on, as far as like the channels that I traverse. So that's another one. Those are the two things that I'm gonna jump on. So I may have to reach out to Bernard on that too. So anyway, education versus culture, desire versus sexual access, a conversation about that. And then are men actually approaching, or are they just talking about a fucking market that they're not even like engaged in like they should be? And then the different ways of doing that. And shout out to Dr. Love. I actually need to get him on a video on my shit alone, because he did a really good video about how to work a room socially. So anyway, that's the stuff that I'm kind of aiming for right now. I think those will be some really good shows. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. As usual, I lied and this turned out to be an hour. Anyway, it was a good hour. Peace. Oh, that's another thing too. I have no problem in talking about the difference between digital approaching and approaching. That's actually, I think, a really good. I think that would be a really good topic. And understand, these are not necessarily topics that I need to do. Shit, if other people want to do them, then do them. There's people that got a little bit more credibility to do them than I do. So shit. Anyway, yeah. Peace.